Hi there, I hope you've managed to have a good go at working the brioche knit stitch. Your work should look something like that now. So what we're now going to do is we are going to practice the brioche purl stitch. So here, this first sample here is what you've already done. So we worked a brioche knit, knit, knit on this side, and then on the other side a knit, knit and knit. What we're going to do now is where we worked a knit, we're going to turn it into a purl. So we're doing purl on this side, purl here, purl here, purl here. And then again on the other side where we did a knit, we're now going to do a purl. So we're going to have a good practice of the brioche purl. You don't really need to use the brioche purl in single colour knitting, but you will need to use it when we get onto two colours. So this is a great way of practicing the brioche purl, and it creates this syncopated effect, which I talked about before, which is where the opposite stitches pop to the front than did before. So let's have a go. We're still going to keep the right side as the right side. So I've still got my stitch marker at the bottom here at the centre to show me the right side. Actually, before we do this, I just want to show you how about counting rows again, just to make sure you're okay with that. Where the stitch marker is, that was a setup row. Each 2 worked rows is 1 counted row. So that's this row here. We did 2 setup rows and they created this bit here where the green is all the way along. So the actual brioche counted rows we've worked are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 counted rows. And that's actually 10 actual rows you will have worked to get to that point. You may have done more or less. It doesn't really matter, just as long as you understand how to count the rows. Okay, so now we're going to switch to purl brioche. First of all, the selve edge stitches will stay the same. So on the right side, that will still be knit. And now we've got to do a slip 1 yarn over for this stitch. Remember, read your knitting. If it's on its own, it needs a shawl. So yarn to the front, always to the front, slip 1 and yarn over. Now, we are now, instead of knitting this, we're going to purl it. So to be able to purl it, when we do our yarn over, we've got to do our yarn over and then bring it all the way back to the front again to be ready to brioche purl. Okay, let's look at that once more. We're going to slit that stitch, yarn over, bring it round to the front and brioche purl. Slip the stitch, yarn over around to the front, brioche purl. And we're going to carry on like that all the way along. Now there is a shorter cut way of doing this. Instead of slipping off the needle, then going all the way round and then purling, you can cut it down, but at the beginning you might find this is a bit, you might make mistakes doing this, so don't worry too much, but this is how I do it. So I do my slip 1 yarn over. I go like that as if to purl, but I don't purl, just slip it. So that gets your yarn all the way over and back to the front. The next one is a brioche purl. So to show you that again, as if to purl but don't, just slip it off and then a purl. As if to purl, slip off and then an actual purl. As if to purl, slip off and then an actual purl. Now as I say at the beginning, that, you know, until you get used to it, that you might not feel comfortable doing that. So instead of doing that, you just slip, yarn over and back round to the front and purl, slip, yarn over to the front and brioche purl, and slip, yarn over. Now you don't have to bring it to the front here because we are on the right side, so the last stitch is knit. Even though we've been doing brioche purls, the last stitch stays the same. Okay, now let's do the wrong side. The wrong side will be very similar. because we're doing purls all the way now. So we slip the first one because we're on the wrong side. And now, instead, where this column of knits is, we're now going to change them to brioche purls. So brioche purl, slip one, yarn over, round to the front, brioche purl. Slip one, yarn over, round to the front, brioche purl. And your yarn is already at the front here, which is why, you know, that can just stay when you do your next slip, because it needs to be at the front to go over that stitch and back round. Slip one, yarn over and round, brioche purl. Slip one, yarn over and round, brioche purl. Now I'll just finish this row using the quicker method if you're feeling up to trying it. So slip one, yarn round as if to purl, but don't slip it off, brioche purl. Slip one, yarn round, brioche purl. Slip one, yarn round and off, brioche purl. Okay, I'll just go back to the normal way once more while you're learning, if you're finding that easier. So slip one, yarn over all the way round, and then brioche purl. Slip one, yarn over all the way around, brioche purl. Slip one, yarn over all the way round, brioche purl. And then we're on a wrong side, so we slip this stitch. Okay, you can see it start to change, but you can't see the pattern really happening yet. We're going to have to do a few more rows. Okay, so I'm going to do a couple more. See how soon we can start seeing it develop. So a right side row, self edge stitch is always knit. Read your work, that needs a shawl over it, so bring the yarn to the front, always has to be at the front. Slip it, yarn over and round, brioche purl. And again, the quicker way, I'll show you once more. Yarn all the way around, but don't purl it, and then purl the slip one yarn over stitch. Show you that again. Yarn over all the way around, slip it off, brioche purl. The temptation is, when you're learning that, is when you've done that, because you're so used to doing a purl, that you purl it, but you mustn't, you just need to slip it off. And that's why it might take you a little bit of memory muscle to get it into your hands and your head, how you need to do that slip stitch there, and don't purl it. You could ask me how I know that. Okay, now we're on the right side, so the last stitch has to be, after we've done the slip one yarn over, has to be knitted. Starting to go, but still can't see it very much, so let's do a wrong side row, slip the first stitch, brioche purl, slip one, yarn over, brioche purl, and then the last stitch is just slipped on the wrong side. we're at that transition stage now where it looks a little bit messy. So we need to keep going. So I'm going to do a few more rows and I'll meet you back here. So I'll probably do another 4 counted rows or something like that, and I'll see you back here. So here we are back after I've worked counted rows of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the brioche pearls, which has created this syncopated effect where the stitches that were at the back come to the front and the stitches that were at the front go to the back. As I say, much more effective when we get onto 2 colours. So we're going to do that very, very soon, but to prepare ourselves for that, we've got to get this situation back to how it was here. So we've now got to go back and do some rows as in exercise 1 with brioche knits. So let's just do a couple here. So again, this is the right side, so we knit the selvage stitch, yarn to the front, slip that one yarn over, and we're going back to knitting these shawled stitches now. Yarn over, knit, yarn to the front. We have to bring it to the front now because we've just done a knit, not a purl. Slip one, yarn over, knit, yarn to the front, slip one, yarn over, brioche knit, yarn to the front, slip one, yarn over, brioche knit. Okay, so I'm going to carry on to the end of the row and do a wrong side row as well. So a right side row we end with a knit, so slip one, yarn over and knit. Let's do our wrong side row. Slip the first stitch, and we're doing a brioche knit now on all these short stitches. So yarn to the back, brioche knit, yarn forward, slip one, yarn round, brioche knit. And we're on the purl side, the wrong side, so we slip the last stitch. Okay, starting to transition back into the knits being at the front. So again, I've done this, as I say, because I'm used to just doing 2 colours, where that always needs to stay there. I keep forgetting to do that at the end. So you have to do that because you've got to knit the first stitch, the selvage stitch. Yarn forward, slip one, yarn over, brioche knit, and we're off again. Yarn over that one and knit the last stitch, and one more wrong side row, slip, take the yarn to the back because the next stitch is a short stitch, so we've got to brioche knit that. Yarn to the front, slip one, yarn over, brioche knit. And slip the last stitch. So there we are, we've got a couple of rows back into the original lineup that we had here with these knit columns carrying on. So I'd like you to do a few more rows, maybe another 4 lots of counted rows, so that you've got 5 stitches in each section. That would be quite useful. And then we're going to get cracking with introducing the second colour. How exciting is that?